Welp, not much to say other than this is part 3 of 4 of our Midnight's review. Just a reminder, this was our first Taylor Swift reaction. Got blocked on YouTube, so I've done some editing to get these reactions onto YouTube. So people that are not a part of our Patreon can view our reaction that we did to Taylor Swift. So this is our first time reacting to Taylor about a year ago, shortly after the release of the album. So of course, a lot of the comments and commentary are dated, but they were, of course, valid or made sense at the time. So enjoy part 3 and stand by for part 4. Check out the comment below that's pinned on this video to see the block content of Taylor Swift that's on our Patreon. Thanks for watching, everyone. Appreciate the nice comments people are leaving.
So this is part
Part 3.
3
Right.
of the Midnight's album. And we did this on a whim just because we were impressed with this. And then, of course, many people suggested that we do this part 3. So here we are doing part 3. I'm going to start with The Great War. I'm assuming this is a reference to World War I. That's often what's referred to as the Great War, but
it is. But I would suspect, who knows, maybe she'll use some analogies about it, but I suspect it's more of a relationship war or something like that. Then.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Looking forward to it. Here we go.
Yeah, let's do it.
My knuckles were bruised like violets. Sucker punching walls, cursed you as I sleep talk. Spineless in my tomb of silence. Tore your banners down, took the battle underground. And maybe it was ego swinging. Maybe it was her. Flashes of the battle come back to me in a blur. All that blood shed, crimson clover, sweet dream was over my hand, was the one you reached for. All throughout the Great War, always remember, tears on the letter I vowed not to cry anymore. If we survived the Great War, you drew up some good faith treaties. I drew curtains close, drank my poison all alone. You said I have to trust more freely, but diesel is desire. You were playing with fire, and maybe it's the past that's talking, screaming from the crypt, telling me to punish you for things you never did. So I justified it, all that blood shed, crimson clover, the bombs were close in my hand, was the one you reached for. All throughout the Great War, always remember, the burning embers I vowed not to fight anymore. If we survived the Great War, it turned into bigger. Somewhere in the haze, got a sense I'd been betrayed. Your finger on my hairpin triggers. Hold you down on that icy ground. Looked up at me with honor and truth. Broken and blue, so I called off the troops. That was the night I nearly lost you. I really thought I lost you. We can plant a memory garden, say a solemn prayer, place a poppy in my hair. There's no morning glory, it was war, it wasn't fair. And we will never go back to that bloodshed, crimson clover. The worst was over my hand, was the one you reached for. All throughout the Great War, always remember, we're burned for better. I vowed I would always be yours, 'cause we survived the Great War. I vowed I would always be yours.
Wow. Okay, so there's quite a few references there in that song to World War One. Did you catch them? Come on.
Yes, Nathan. Yes, the Great War is about an argument she had with her current boyfriend. I guess it was a big one at the beginning of their relationship, when they were near the beginning of the relationship. But yes, so the combination of the Great War and how there's casualties, which is our feelings or our ideas or whatever it might be, and yeah. But of course, I caught the metaphor she was using
it's
real
not-
historic war,
Yeah,
But yes,
I just-
she was using real
Yeah, there's the
poppies
actual references, and it's good writing to be able to do it dually like that.
Right.
One of my favorite bands of all time, U2, has an excellent writing style where they write it in a way where is this a love song or is this a song about something entirely different, and you're not sure sometimes. I can see this one's a little more leaning towards, no, this is more of a relationship song than it is about the Great War, but it does work. Yeah, I enjoyed that song. And then musically, it was a great song too. I think.
Yeah, it was very gentle, poppy, deep. I guess I can hear why this maybe wasn't put with the standard edition, because it sounds different. Now, we mentioned the second half of Midnight seemed to be more hopeful. Mm-hmm. It seemed to have a more hopeful second half than the first half. Like, it seemed a little bit lighter.
Yeah.
This one kind of combines the two moods, because it is about a fight, but obviously she's still with Joe.
Yeah.
I think his name is Joe. Yeah, she's still with many years later, 5 or 6 years after that fight, but she's still writing a song about it. So the idea is that they're okay, they survived, right? And there's peace now, I hope. But I want to say, too, it's just a lot of good material. It's almost basically it's a double album at this point. When you have 8 more tracks to listen to after the standard edition, it's essentially it's a double album. But
Yeah.
which just goes to show how much she could have easily, if she's not lazy, but if she wanted to make more money, she could have easily just saved this for another album in a year.
This is remixable. A lot of these songs actually are all remixable. Like, you could turn them into a remix very easily. So I'm sure they're already out there. I'm sure people are already remixing Taylor Swift stuff with her permission, obviously. But anyway.
You know what I hope happens? I hope somebody buys the record rights for this album, and then she has to re-record it again. Okay. All right.
I don't think that's gonna.
Let's do the next one. All right, this one's called Bigger Than the Whole Sky.
Words appear before me in the aftermath. Salt streams out my eyes and into my ears. Every single thing I touch becomes sick with sadness. Because it's all over now, all out to sea. Goodbye, you were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. And I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you. What could have been, would have been you. Did some bird flap its wings over in Asia? Did some force take you because I didn't pray? Every single thing to come has turned into ashes. 'Cause it's all over, it's not meant to be. So I'll say words I don't believe. goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. And I've got a lot to pine about. I've got a lot to live without. I'm never gonna meet what could have been, would have been, what should have been you.
Jeez.
I'm 100% positive it's about a certain person or someone, but I'm just going to go with my gut reaction here. And what did it make me think of? In our world, you and I world, it made me think of a person very important to our channel, someone who we got to know briefly. If you can go and check out some other videos where we've said goodbye to this person. Her name's Sammy. Just a real light in a dark place. And it was both positive and heartbreaking to go through that journey, even though it was only like a month and a half, really, that we were able to, maybe 2 months, but it was just a beautiful person that we got to know. And I love those lines, and it's hard to read just without feeling a little bit choked up. Goodbye, goodbye. You were bigger than the whole sky. You were more than just a short time. And I've got a lot to pine about. That's what it made me think of. And that's the power of good music, is it reminds you of people that it actually transcends whoever it was intended for, and you can use it to help process your own stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Said Nathan, you're the heart and soul, and your sweet spirit always is so gentle and calming, and then Chunk comes in and ruins everything.
Yeah.
Interesting that you brought that up about loss, because there's some speculation here. This is from people that are in the know regarding, of course, what the song. No, there's speculation, but people are speculating the song is about her having a miscarriage.
Oh, okay.
So the fact that you picked up on the lost, what could have been the short time, knowing someone that you cared about deeply. Put it this way, even if it wasn't maybe Taylor having a miscarriage, somebody who's had one could probably read those lyrics in that song. And they could, just like you're talking about, this would, any kind of loss with somebody, you lose a child at a young age or something tragic like that, you could see how the song would be very, would hit the feels for somebody grieving. And I say child because the lyrics fit something that was brief. Something that could have been that world that was ahead of them. Yeah, it's a deep song. Beautiful song. I love the acoustic guitar in that, her vocals in that. This is what Taylor had to say about the 3 a.m. album. So that answers our question. This album sounds like a double album, like this came out. It almost sounds like another album. And it says here, surprise, this is from Taylor, surprise, I think of Midnight as a complete concept album with those 13 songs, forming a full picture of the intensities of that mystifying mad hour. However, there were other songs we wrote on our journey to find that magic 13. So I'm calling them 3 a.m. tracks. Lately, I've been loving the feeling of sharing more of our creative process with you, like we do with From the Vault tracks, which we're not familiar with, of course. So it's 3 a.m. and I'm giving them to you now. So there you go. It was legit bonus tracks, but enough to almost form a whole album where she's, here's some songs that don't quite fit the theme that we talked about, the journey we went through with the Midnight album, the standard album. Let's get these out. We performed them. They were on our creative palette, so to speak, but here they are. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, beautiful song. Boy, tough. Nathan, that last song was number 60, peak position 60 on the
Vietnam Hot 100. Okay.
Vietnam. Who were the 59 Nimrods ahead of her at this time? All right. Next one, Nathan, is called Paris.
Okay.
That's, Paris.
lister. Met someone at a club and he kissed her. Turns out it was that guy you hooked up with ages ago. Some wannabe Z-lister. And all the outfits were terrible.
That's us.
2003 unbearable. Did you see the photos? No, I didn't, but thanks though. I'm so in love that I might stop breathing. Drew a map on your bedroom ceiling. No, I didn't see the news, cause we were somewhere else. Stumbled down pretend alleyways, cheap wine, make believe it's champagne. I was taken by the view, like we were in Paris, like we were somewhere else, like we were in Paris. Oh, we were somewhere else. Privacy sign on the door and on my page and on the whole world. Romance is not dead if you keep it just yours. Levitate above all the messes made. Sit quiet by my side in the shade, and not the kind that's thrown, kind under where a tree has grown. I'm so in love that I might stop breathing. Drew a map on your bedroom ceiling. No, I didn't see the news, cause we were somewhere else. Stumbled down pretend alleyways, cheap wine, make believe it's champagne. I was taken by the view, like we were in Paris.
Clever lyrics.
Like we were somewhere else. Like we were in Paris. Oh, we were somewhere else. I wanna brainwash you into loving me forever. I wanna transport you to somewhere the culture's clever. Confess my truth in swooping, sloping, cursive letters. Let the only flashing lights be the tower at midnight in my mind.
Your little midnight
We
nod
drew a
again.
map on your bedroom ceiling. No, I didn't see the news, cause we were somewhere else in an alleyway, drinking champagne. Cause we were in Paris. Yes, we were somewhere else. My love, we were in Paris. Yes, we were somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm taken back by how clever the lyrics are, musically clever, right? The kind of rhythmic sound of the rhymes and the way that she phrases things. I really like that right from the beginning. I'm just going to go back to the beginning. Your ex-friend's sister met someone at the club and he kissed her. Turns out it was the guy you hooked up with ages ago, some wannabe Z-lister. And all the outfits were terrible. 2003 unbearable. Did you see the photos? No thanks. She's got like a... And her... This is a... I know this is more... I'm going to say this is probably more other Taylor Swift. Like this is probably sounds a little more stuff before this. Because that's... I do have a reference for Taylor Swift. It's not like I've never heard any Taylor Swift. I have teenage daughters. I was around teenagers for a long time as a teacher. So I've heard songs where people are like, it's Taylor Swift. So I've heard that sound. And so I'm comparing it to what I remember from those sounds and going, I think this is more her traditional sound. And I like it. Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
She's done it on a couple songs where she does that. I think that's her style. It could be wrong. At least 2 songs we've heard so far from 3 a.m. where she does that kind of like rap singing, talk singing that she, I don't know what you call it, but she's done it on a few songs now. It might be her thing.
Like spoken, not poetry.
Yeah.
Spoken word poetry.
But she's clipping her words and the singing, but it's very clear. But yeah, because it's poetry, she's kind of semi-singing the poetry.
Yeah.
This could have easily been released in the early or late 90s. Remember Natalie Imbruglia? Is that her name? Natalie Imbruglia? Torn? You would know the song if you heard it.
Okay.
It reminds me of that, like this early or late 90s, like Natalie Imbruglia artist type sound, which I think is great. It's a very nice, poppy, pleasant sound to this song. I think it's a cute song. It is about the early days of their relationship, Joe and her, and Paris. And they were happy, and they weren't worried about the world around them. We could have been we were in Paris, but we could have been anywhere. It didn't matter.
No, I like it. It's beautiful. So next is High Infidelity. Is that right?
High Infidelity. I think so. And this will be the last song that we do for part 3, so stick around for part 4 at a later date. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
Lock broken, slur spoken, wound open, game token. I didn't know you were keeping count. Rain soaking, blind hoping. You said I was freeloading. I didn't know you were keeping count. High infidelity, put on your records and regret me. I bent the truth too far tonight. I was dancing around it. High infidelity, put on your headphones and burn my city. Your picket fence is sharp as knives. I was dancing around it. Do you really want to know where I was April 29th? Do I really have to chart the constellations in his eyes?
Right, particular date.
Coming,
Yeah.
good husband, bad omen. Dragged my feet right down the aisle. At the house, lonely, good money. I'd pay if you just know me. Seemed like the right thing at the time. You know there's many different ways that you can kill the one you love. The slowest way is never loving them enough. Do you really want to know where I was April 29th? Do I really have to tell you how he brought me back to life? High infidelity, put on your records and regret me. I bent the truth too far tonight. I was in around it. High infidelity, put on your headphones and burn my city. Your picket fence is sharp as knives. I was dancing around it. Do you really want to know where I was April 29th? Do I really have to chart the constellations in his eyes? You know there's many different ways that you can kill the one you love. The slowest way is never loving them enough. High infidelity, put on your records and regret meeting me. I bent the truth too far tonight. I was dancing around it. High infidelity, put on your headphones and burn my city. Your picket fence is sharp as knives. I was dancing around it. Slur spoken, wound open, game token. I didn't know you were keeping count. Rain soaking, blind hoping. You said I was freeloading. I didn't know you were keeping count. But oh, you were keeping count.
I'm going to go out a limb here and say that's a very specific song to some very specific moment, only just because she repeats that date 4 times in that song. So it's got either a reference to her current husband or not husband, they're not
Boyfriend.
boyfriend, or to a previous relationship. It's got to be. Yeah, not that it's got to be. It doesn't have to be. It just feels like it might be.
Right.
Either that or like another maybe specific relationship that she's aware of. Yeah.
Yeah, a good catch again, Nathan. For our listeners or watchers of the channel, Nathan cannot see the chat. So there's people in our Discord right now who are giving us like little notes about the songs as they come on. So Nathan can't see that because he records on his end. But no, it's great that you caught that because obviously she's saying this date. Why this date, April 29th? So apparently, rumor has it, the song may be about her relationship with a guy named DJ Calvin Harris and how she supposedly cheated on him at the Met Gala, which might have been April 29th, with Tom Hiddleston.
Ooh.
And it was also that same gal that she met her future boyfriend Joe at for the first time. She's not married to any of these guys. If you fall out of love, you meet somebody else then they take you away. I've even said that about my current wife. I'm gonna get rid of her later. No, I've told her the moment you feel like you're a prisoner in a relationship, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
The moment you feel like, oh, I'm stuck here. So what I mean by that is like the moment if she falls in love with someone, they fall in love with someone else. Maybe I'm a libertarian that way, but nobody should feel like they're a prisoner in life. You make contracts and agreements, sure, and you should work out your problems. But at the end of the day, she's not married. There's no contract written. If she meets another guy, she meets another guy. When you're dating a celebrity, you have to be aware they're hyper attractive and attracting a lot. They're a magnet to a lot of activity and a lot of people. It's a world we don't understand. I couldn't even imagine having more than my wife wanting to be with me, let alone hundreds, thousands, who knows? The adoration, attention from people would be overwhelming. Yeah. I say all that because the fact that she's singing about it, she doesn't even have to sing about it. So this is her way of addressing it, saying this is what happened, if it's true.
Here's what I'm realizing. I wish that I had discovered Taylor Swift while I was a teacher. The reason I'm saying that is because I would have pulled her lyrics up and put them on the board and went, all right, we're going to talk about the poetry that's going on in this stuff. Because it is very clever, it's very well written. And just as a poem separately, it's got enough intricacy in it and enough carefully written lyrics that it outshines a lot of other poetry that I've had to process in the past. And I would much rather look at stuff like this. So it's very good. I like it.
I wish I discovered her earlier so I could pull her pictures up and just Google her all day. Very pretty. That's all. But now we'll just start now. I got a whole plethora of pictures. Look, I'm just joking. She's a wonderful, lovely woman. And thank you to all the Swifties that are patient with me. I'm not as mature as Nathan. I apologize.
All right.
My apologies.
Part 4 coming soon.